What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Bit of Footy YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be running through my round 22 tips for the 2024 AFL Premiership season. Now, last round, in round number 21, I actually did all right tipping wise again. As you can see on the screen right about now, these are the tips that I got correct and incorrect. I got a total of 6 out of 9 tips correct last round, and the only tips that I got incorrect were the Suns tip, the Swans tip, and the Freo tip as well. Every other tip I did in fact get correct, which had me getting 6 out of 9 tips correct last round in round number 21. That currently has me in 22nd spot in my own tipping comp, and I'm on a total points tally of 109 points in total. In first spot, again, we've got Yusuf, who got a total of 4 out of 9 tips last round in round number 21 and is on a total points tally of 101 points in total. Sorry, 121 points in total. But there is 3 people on 120 points behind Yusuf. So be careful, Yusuf, at the top there. But yeah, again, fair play to you. You're at the top again. But yeah, without further ado, let's take a look and see what my tips are for round number 22 of the 2024 AFL Premiership season. All right, kicking off round number 22, we've got a big Friday night game tonight between the Swans and my Pies. The Swans, well, they're coming off a loss against the Power, and my Pies, well, they're coming off an exhilarating 3-point win in Pendle's 400th over the Blues. So yeah, it should make for a good contest, this one. I know earlier in the season when we played the Swans at the MCG, the Swans got the job done, and from that point on, you know, the Swans looked like a very good team. But they've sort of been 50-50 as of late, Sydney. They're still a very good team. They're going to be a hard team to beat in this game. I just know it. But yeah, they've been a bit 50-50 as of late. But I am scared because, you know, they didn't play their best last round. And I feel like they're going to play their best this round. So it's going to be a tough challenge for my Pies. But, you know, we're coming off a 3-point win against the Blues. That was a very good win. And, you know, we got up and about in Pendle's 400th. And I just feel like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like we could come to Sydney and maybe cause a little bit of an upset. So in this game right here, I'm going to be tipping my Pies over the Swans. I reckon we'll be up and about for the challenge. Pretty much every game from here on out is just like a final for us. So yeah, I reckon we're going to be up and about for the challenge in this game. I know it's going to be tough. I know Sydney aren't going to play like they did last round against the Power. But yeah, I reckon we can get it done in this game. I reckon, like I said a million times already, we'll be up and about for the challenge. I reckon it will be a close game of footy. So I'm backing in my Pies to get the job done by a margin of only 8 points in this one over the Swans. Come on, the Pies. Come on, please. Then we move on to the Saturday games. We have got a few good Saturday games. We'll kick it off with the Lions taking on the Giants at the Gabba. The Lions, they're coming off a win over the Saints. The Giants are coming over a very impressive comeback win against the Hawks. Should be a very interesting game, this one. Tipping wise, a lot of people have jumped on the Lions, and you know, that's fair because, you know, the Lions are in very good form, but so are the Giants as well. I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants were to come away with a win in this one. It just seems like a Giants thing to do, to come away with wins in big games like this away from home as well. But I feel like with the way that the Lions are playing at the moment, they've been undefeated in how many games now? They're in some really good form. They're playing at home as well against the Giants. I do think it could be a close contest, but in the end, I think the Lions will get the win in this one over the Giants. Then we move on to the Kangaroos taking on the Eagles at Bloodstone Arena. 145. The Roos are coming off a win over the Tigers, and the Eagles are coming off a win over the Suns. So both teams are actually coming into this game off the back of wins. Should be an alright contest, this one. You know, the last time that these two teams played each other at Optus Stadium, the Roos got the job done for their first win of this season, but it was still a good game. You know, the Roos were up by a fair margin, then the Eagles came back, and then the Roos came back and got the job done. So yeah, should be an alright contest. I think North Melbourne will get up in this game, so I'm going to tip them to do so. I think it will be a fairly, you know, even contest, but I think North Melbourne, they're playing some alright footy at the moment. The Eagles haven't won away from home this season as well, so yeah, I'm going to be backing in North Melbourne over the Eagles in this one. Then we move on to the twilight game on Saturday. We've got the Dockers taking on the Cats at Optus Stadium in Perth. The Dockers, they're coming off, well, what are they coming off? They're coming off a 1-point loss to the hands of the Bombers, and the Cats, they're coming off a 5-point win against the Crows. Should be a very, very entertaining contest, this one, I reckon. You know, both teams are coming off close games last round as well. So, yeah, it should be a good contest, this one. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to be tipping the Cats in this game. I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for the Dockers without Tracy in the side. I feel like Tracy is their main go-to in the forward line. He's been kicking goals for them all year, and I feel like without Tracy, it's going to be a little bit tough for the Dockers. I know that they've got capable players in their side that can go forward and kick the goals besides Tracy, like, you know, Luke Jackson, for example. But I just feel like, you know, the Cats are going to be up and about for this game. And just find a way to get the job done. You know, Cameron, he kicked 6 goals last round, and if he can bring that form into this game and the Cats can, you know, get it in their forward line multiple times this game and really challenge the Dockers, I reckon the Cats could cause a, well, I don't know if it's an upset, but could cause a little bit of a, I don't know what to say, but I reckon the Cats could win this game, so I'm going to tip them to do so, but I do think it's going to be a very close game of footy, this one. Then we move on to the 2 7:30 games, both at Melbourne as well. We'll kick it off with Melbourne taking on Port Adelaide at the MCG. Melbourne are coming off a loss against the Western Bulldogs. The Power are coming off a big win against the Swans. What a big win that was for the Power in, well, 2 ways, I guess you could say. The margin and, you know, the opponent. Should be an alright game, this one. I'm going to be tipping the Power in this one. Hopefully they can take a lot of confidence from that win last round against the Swans and get the job done in this game over the D's. I do know that the D's always play well against the Power, and it is at the MCG, so the D's could get the job done. But I feel like with the way that Port Adelaide are playing at the moment, they're clicking very well together. So yeah, I'm going to be backing Port Adelaide to beat the D's in this one. Then we move on to the other 7:30 game at Marvel Stadium. We've got the Bombers taking on the Swans. The Bombers, they're coming off, well, what a win that was. They're coming off a great 1-point win over the Dockers. The Suns, they're coming off a 10-point loss to the hands of the Eagles. A game which they maybe should have won, but, you know, it was a bit of an ebbing and flowing game, that one. I'm going to be tipping the Bombers in this game. I reckon they're going to take a bit of confidence from that comeback win over the Dockers last round. You know, they looked down and out in that game, and then they just miraculously came back and won that game. So hopefully they can take a lot of confidence from how they played when they were coming back and when they won that game over the Dockers last round. I do think it's going to be, you know, a very interesting game. You know, the Suns haven't won away from home, so is this their opportunity to do so? Maybe, but I think, you know, the Bombers will take a lot of confidence and a lot of pride from last round when they came back and won over the Dockers and take that into this game. So yeah, I'm going to be tipping the Bombers over the Suns in this one. Then we move on to a pretty good Sunday schedule, I'd say, and we kick it off with, I'd say, the game of the round, and I hope it lives up to that expectation, because it is a massive game happening between the Blues and the Hawks at the MCG. The Blues, they're coming off that 3-point loss to the hands of my Pies. The Hawks, they're coming off a 2-point loss to the hands of the Giants. So yeah, God, this should be an absolute ripper game. It really should be an absolute ripper game, and I do hope it is. It's a tough game to tip. You can really go either way in this one. You know, the Blues, they've been playing good all season. The Hawks, they've been playing some decent footy as of late. So it should be a very good contest, this one. I'm going to be tipping the Blues in this one. I really can see going either way, but I just feel like the Blues have got the firepower to get the job done in this game. I do think it's going to be a close contest. I can see whoever wins winning by like 1 point or 2 points, but I'm going to be tipping the Blues in this one in what should be an absolute ripper, hopefully. But yeah, I'm tipping the Blues in this one over the Hawks. Then we move on to the 3:20 game at Marvel Stadium. We've got the Tigers taking on the Saints. The Tigers, they're coming off that loss against the Roos. The Saints, they're coming off a loss against the Lions. I'm going to be tipping the Saints in this one. I know they got done by a big margin against the Lions, but the Lions are in some very good form, so that was always going to be a tough game for the Saints to win, but I think they'll bounce back and get back on the winners list this round over the Tigers. Hopefully the Tigers can make it a good competitive game of footy. You know, they were very competitive last round against North Melbourne, and you know, they were also competitive against my Pies as well. So yeah, hopefully they can be competitive for 4 quarters in this one and make it a good game, but I think the Saints will come away with the 4 points in this one. And for the last game of the round, we've got the Crows taking on the Dogs at the Adelaide Oval for 10 p.m. start. You know, Victorian time. The Crows, they're coming off a 5-point loss to the hands of the Cats, the Dogs. They just continued on their merry winning ways last round when they picked up a 51-point win over the D's. I'm going to be tipping the Dogs in this one. They're just in some splendid form at the moment, the Dogs are. Yeah, they're playing some really good team footy together. They just seem to be clicking, and they're clicking at the right end of the season as well. I do think they have to be careful though, because you know the Crows, I reckon they're gonna bring up a good challenge towards the Dogs, especially at the Adelaide Oval, the home of the Crows. And you know, they played very well last round as well. Adelaide did, against the Cats away from home. So yeah, hopefully it is a good game, but I think, you know, with the way that the Dogs are playing at the moment, they're clicking very well together. So yeah, I'm going to be tipping the Dogs in this one against the Crows. And those are my tips done and dusted for this round of footy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, it's going to be a massive game tonight. I'm nervous, I'm excited. Come on the Pies, let's get it done for Howie's 250th. It's going to be a big game, that one. I'm so nervous for it, but I'm excited. As well to see how we go. But yeah, come on the Pies. Cheers, guys, for watching this video, and yeah, cheers.